So over 1 million people have registered for the event already, and why you should sign up for Alex Hormozi's book launch and why I'm going and why you should go too. So for anybody that followed along and watched the last book event, it was probably one of the most incredible webinar experiences I've ever had. It was incredibly well delivered. The pitch was absolutely solid. The way he performed the delivery of the actual webinar, what he gave away, how the book launch went, and the actual results of the actual book launch. Now, for anybody that's ever watched the show or kind of listened to anything that I've ever said, remember, I don't advertise or kind of talk about anything that I don't possibly use myself. So for anybody that watched the last book launch, and if you haven't watched it, I'm going to link it in the link below. I want you to go back and literally watch the whole thing from start to finish. If whether you're marketing for your own personal business, whether you're in marketing in general, or if you're just a person who kind of just adores learning and understanding the different components of the way things work, I got to be honest, it was probably one of the best things I've ever seen in a very long time. Now, for anybody that hasn't followed along, Alex Hermozi, this was the last book launch. It was $100 million leads. This is something that I personally have gone over. I've listened to this book in Audible about 2 to 3 times. I do it at the gym. I've also read it from cover to cover, like nonstop. I've taken notes. I've done a lot of things onto it. I've changed my entire website offering and it's converted better ever since I did. And I've actually changed my entire model of the way I sell in my agency, the way I sell in my coaching practice, and the way I sell in my courses, and the way that I kind of launch all my lead magnets. Everything that I've done in the last year and a half has been derived from a lot of the learnings, not only that I have from that webinar, but actually from the book itself. Now, I've doubled and tripled my conversions because my ad cost used to cost me $10 per lead. I'm down to $2 to $3 for anybody that's following along. I state that quite generously over the last several years, especially in the last 2 years, as I keep advancing about everything that I've done. The second thing that you've noticed is in my content, whether it's in YouTube, whether it's in Facebook, Instagram, or whatever it is, you've noticed that there's been a lot more content and it's been very focused, and it kind of has a similar approach and launch that Alex Hormozi did. Now, the other thing that I will tell you is the success that I've had in understanding a lot of this is by listening to it over and over again and going back and kind of re-looking at my whole entire model and exactly what I represent. And one of the biggest learnings I got from the webinar, from the book, and from all the learnings that I had during that whole entire time was that my offers initially weren't good. And that became the pivotal thing and probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned in through all of Alex Hormozi's teaching. Now, again, for everybody that follows me, you know that I have multiple amounts of mentors that I've learned from over the last several years, and I invest quite heavily into the mentors that I really want to work with. Probably my most indirect mentor, the person that I learned to the most that's not a direct one-on-one mentor of mine, is Alex Hermozi and all the things that he does. But you kind of actually watch everything that he's done in the last several years. One, he has acquisition.com, and kind of the way it works is he partners up with other businesses and he helps other businesses explode if he finds that they're viable, that they have good quality, and he kind of like nitpicks the one that he wants and does it because a lot of people that are in his programs kind of develop with him. They build a trust, they build kind of like an association, and then he kind of helps them take over. He joins partnerships with them and he becomes that acquisition.com kind of name goes along with it. And he does incredibly well. He has a pretty significant coaching program that's very high in cost. One day I hope to join it. So this is kind of me throwing my, kind of like wish out there that, will automatically come to fruition. Now, honestly, if you haven't watched it, I'm going to link the other previous book launch below. And again, he's now launching the second book. The second book is going to be one that's going to be launched on there. He's going to do it live. He's already guaranteed that if you show up for the event, he's going to give some additional bonuses. In his own words, that is more than an NFT and less than a Bitcoin. Considering that's a pretty massive wide range, we're probably in for some treats, but it's just really cool the way he even advertised it. Now, for anybody that wants to take a look at it, again, to attend the absolutely free event, click on that barcode you see, or you can go down and you can just put in this link right at the bottom. Now, if you do register under my affiliate link, this is an affiliation. I don't get really money for it, but I get the chance and the opportunity to go to Vegas and learn from him and his actual event, which would be something really cool that I'd be looking forward to. That obviously would be everything that I would share to all my viewers and people that are following the newsletter. On top of that, you also get some additional bonuses that if you sign under my link, that will automatically go to you. Again, just by signing up under the link. So I want to make sure you guys get access to that and just make sure that you get it no matter what. The other thing that I will also say is that if you are just doing this, even if you don't buy the book during launch or possibly some other offer that he's launching at that particular time, that's completely cool. Watching the webinar itself is going to be pure gold. And again, he created acquisition.com. That was number one. one. Number two, for anybody that's been following the school journey, and a lot of you know that I've recently moved over to school and we're having great success there, was again all because of Alex Hormozi and what he built there. Because what happened when Alex Hormozi took over school and kind of helped out in that whole marketing play, there was a lot of videos and a lot of content that was out, and it automatically went to building a great community there, because now all my current clientele actively has some kind of school community, which makes it easier for them to find my school community. Now, all that being said, on top of creating those incredible assets, have an incredible book launch, which launched, I think, sold over 1 million copies. He's now saying that this is going to be an even bigger launch with an even better book. The last one took him 2 years to write. This one took him 4 years. And it's all about different acquisition systems to getting the most sales and getting your customers to spend more. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for that next advancement so I can expand my knowledge even more. But again, as before, I don't mention anything that I don't recommend or use myself. And as you can see from this usage of this book and everything else that I've done and all the notes and everything else that I've taken in there, and the fact that between Audible and the actual reading of the book, 3 times of the reading of the book, 2 times on Audible, and one where one of the Audibles was when I was actually listening to the book and reading the book at the same time, which was something that he recommended to do, which I actually did. And I got to be honest, different learning experience altogether, but still pretty cool nonetheless. That all being said, it is incredibly important for everybody to understand that it's free. It doesn't cost you anything just to attend. And if you doubt or have questions about how good the other launch was, I'm going to include the other video, and I want you to watch the webinar in perfection. It had everything that a webinar should have. And at the end, what he did is he didn't ask you to buy anything other than book, and he gave away acquisition.com a bunch of free courses that go along with the book. And for anybody that hasn't seen it or hasn't been there, again, this is a completely free site, a great companion to the book. So if you haven't got the $100 million leads from, again, the previous launch, go out there and get the book. I think it's $29. I can't remember the exact number of whatever the price is book, but honestly, I got a hardcover. It is one of the books that I will probably never give up in my library. I personally have given away 10 plus copies of this to my current customers. So you know that I'm actually serious and a big fan of the book. Now, I only have a few select books inside my actual library, and believe it or not, this is one of them. And it's one of the books that you'll honestly go back and forth to quite a few times. And as much as I've done it already, I can tell you that I have gone to a lot of these in different formats because, again, it's something that I really enjoy reading at any given time. Now, for anybody that hasn't been at acquisition.com, I recommend you go there. It's completely free and it has free courses. So when you come up here, all right, you're going to go to leads course. And the leads course, you're going to put in your name, phone number, and the annual business revenue that you're currently making. And if you go over to the left-hand side, you're going to notice a whole bunch of content. The content goes aligned with the book right here. It's pretty darn good. And the fact that it's free, I send my current staffing team goes all in there and it's part of their learning. I also do it to my internal staff. They've also all taken all these free courses and there's multiple ones of them. And there's also his books that he has, which again is the $100 million offers and $100 million leads. This is the one that you can purchase right now. And I got to be honest, the offer book was incredible. The lead books was even better. And now it's going to be the one that is going to be completely launched. And I guarantee you it's going to be something that you're definitely going to want to do. So again, attend a completely free live event. There's no pressure to buy. I'm going to include the link to the previous launch from Alex Hermozi that you got to watch. And if you haven't followed Alex Hermozi yet, it's just great to follow all along. You're going to see the great content that he creates. It's kind of all over the map. It's really about business acquisitions and some real gem and gold in that channel and everything that you do. So if you're not doing it, any business owner, it doesn't honestly matter what kind of business you're in, from coaches to course creators to content creators to local businesses to anything else, you're going to get some gold regardless of where you watch it and how you watch it. Again, there is nothing other than free content that you guys can have to go along with this, but it's something that you're really going to want to follow. Now, again, wouldn't recommend something that I haven't attended myself. Secondly, what was great about this whole entire thing about the previous launches, you had a whole bunch of haters and people on there on the live that were like, oh, he's going to charge $1 million for this and all this kind of stuff. And the second that he gave acquisition.com for free and all the free courses, people went absolutely bananas and you felt compelled to buy the book. That's how crazy this thing was. And again, this is something I want you all to experience because it is something that I greatly appreciated, not only in the art form of actually doing what he did, but it was incredible of the way he just presented it. So I have series 1 of the book, I have series 2, and now I'm about to get series 3. The last book took 2 years. This new book is going to cost 4 years. You're going to get some free bonuses just for attending live, which I recommend that you do. And again, every person that goes in there and attends, I guarantee you're going to get something out of it, regardless of what an expert you are in marketing, not in marketing, whether you're a single business owner, an entrepreneur, or you've been working for somebody else. I guarantee you're going to get some real big value of doing a lot of the stuff in there. Now, if the first one was offers, which was great because it taught me how to make a great offer, which again, I told you, I went back and read and changed all my offers. Then generating leads, all my lead magnets now have been kind of modified to basically change and do exactly what he says to do inside the books. Again, I go back every time I create a lead magnet to ensure it captures all those values. Now, even my newsletter, it used to be $10 a lead. I now pay $2 a lead for it, and so forth and so on. So there's a lot of really good value in just going back and listening to some of these books and creating these different offers. But again, big fan of his work. Acquisition.com is a great resource for anybody. So even if you have doubts of showing up for an absolutely free event, show up at least and go and watch the previous webinar. Go to acquisition.com and make sure you go through some of the free courses and you see how valuable his content is. Or more importantly, just follow along and go through any of his like free YouTube stuff that he kind of gives out. So again, anybody that wants to check this out, it took him 4 years to write this book. It's going to be the third in the series. The last launch was absolutely incredible. Free giveaways for anybody that attends live, that only attends live, that you're going to be able to get access to these freebies that he's going to give. And last time his freebies were absolutely epic. Anybody that wants to check them out, check out the video below of the previous launch. Also at the same time, make sure that you check out acquisition.com because it has a whole bunch of free resources in there where I showed you inside, literally on that website. It's going to be something you absolutely don't want to miss. And I guarantee you are going to be completely blown away by the tactics and the things that he does. But please, if anything, look at the R form and the actual delivery of the webinar. And if your question is actual, like success, he had Gym Launch, which was a multi-million-dollar company. He has 7 multi-million-dollar companies underneath his belt. He started acquisition.com. And on top of it, he recently had a partnership with School. And you saw how well School has done and continuously does based on that. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys all there, and it's going to be something you're not going to want to miss. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter because it's going to have all this stuff in there, and we're going to kind of count down the dates together. So join my mailing list so at least you get active when this thing is going to launch, how it's going to launch. But if anything, go you get yourself signed up. It's completely free, no cost, no pressure to buy anything. And then check out everything else that's available online by Alex Hormozi, by acquisition.com, because it's going to be regardless of your skill level, regardless of where you're at your business, whether you're a master level or an absolute beginner. It's great education that is absolutely free and is at your hands. And the book, honestly, is an incredible investment that I personally go back and listen to all the time. So that being said, I'll see you in the next one.